We're here right now in Sunland Park, New Mexico, which is one of the very hot spots for jumping over this wall that you see behind me. And then you'll see, as we look around, things that people have left behind as they have crossed the wall. What's interesting about this wall that is a pretty big misnomer is this wall actually behind me was built by George W. Bush in the 90s. It was actually voted upon and approved by Congress, and the Congress members that voted for it at the time were Nancy Pelosi. They were also Chuck Schumer, even Joe Biden in the Senate voted for this wall. And when it was built in the 90s, it was actually a part of something called Operation Hold the Line to stop the crime that was plaguing Sunland Park, New Mexico. And also, by the way, right behind me at the top of that hill, you just go over that hill and you're in El Paso, Texas. So this is one of the areas. And right behind me is one of the areas where a lot of times people will actually jump over the wall. And when they do, it is actually the firefighters, it is the Border Patrol, it is the ICE Customs folks who actually come and humanely treat the broken legs, the bruises, all of those sorts of things that happen as these migrants jump over. Now, one of the keys, by the way, is that we are hearing a lot while we are here about those who are coming here because they're desperate are actually being doubly victimized by the coyotes, the drug cartels who are making billions of dollars now lying to people and telling them, come on over because there'll be jobs for you, there'll be all of this, which there isn't. Also, it doesn't help, honestly, that our President Joe Biden actually said, guess what? America is open. That communicated something. We've been hearing terrible stories about that. And let's be clear, that isn't because the wall is the issue. It isn't because we should just fling wide open our borders. Actually, it's the porous borders that have empowered drug cartels to make so much money off of this situation, off of the desperation of others. In addition, by the way, behind us is Juarez, Mexico, also a very, very cartel controlled city. Juarez, Mexico used to be the #1 murder capital in the world. Now it's the #3 murder capital in the world. The other two are also in Mexico. And why is that? Because right behind us, the very poor people in this city in Juarez, Mexico, are also being victimized by the drug cartels. We're here, by the way, on a ride along with the Sunland Park, New Mexico Fire Department. The other thing that I want to point out is that they are allowed in Texas and New Mexico to work hand in hand with federal officials, Border Patrol, with also the ICE, DEA, etc. That's not allowed in Colorado under a 2019 law. And the reality is, those who are coming here with the right intent, who are desperate, they oftentimes have the first humane interaction with the Border Patrol, with ICE, with the DEA. We've also heard, by the way, and you'll be hearing more about this both on the radio show and in a comprehensive video piece that we're putting together, that it is not what we think. It is not really so much Mexicans that are trying to come over now. It is people from other areas of South and Central America. But even more nefarious, we're hearing off the record from Border Patrol agents who are talking about people from Russia, people from China, people from Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, people from Turkey. Even hearing yesterday about people that are coming over that are foreign military operatives coming into our country. You add that with the really basically, as they call it, narco-military drug cartels that control 65% of Mexico now. And what you have is really a bad policy, president-made humanitarian and criminal disaster. Try to walk up here as much as I can, and actually we'll come back in a bit to show you what the other side of the border looks like, because the other thing that I've been finding really fascinating is that just on one side of the border you have one of the poorest areas probably in all of the world, And then on the other side, you have El Paso, Texas, where there are poor areas. Really, it is showing a difference, because even the poor areas in El Paso would be mansions in Juarez, Mexico. And the reality is, it's not because of a wall that was put up or a fence that was put up. It is a tale of two different societies, civilizations, countries built on different principles. On this side of the border, every single human being is treated with dignity and respect, even by those who may catch them and then return them back over to Mexico, although that policy has been somewhat eliminated under this administration. On the other side of the Mexico, or as Mexico, people are not treated as having intrinsic value. In fact, they're used. They are considered to be product many times by the very drug cartels that are ruling this area. Well, that's going to be my winding up this Facebook Live. I will definitely do another one later today, and I appreciate your watching. Stay tuned. Tune into the radio program today at 3 p.m. as I'm going to be talking a little bit more about some of the humanitarian disaster that's been created by this bad policy, and how securing the border is actually the most humane thing for people in need. And then Stefan will be having his show at 4, also be talking about these issues. And then we're also going to be putting together a very comprehensive video that we can use to have persuasive conversations with those in Colorado and persuade Governor Polis to reverse the sanctuary status, persuade, hopefully, Attorney General Weiser to join other attorney generals who are asking to secure the border. Also, by the way, to stop the scourge of fentanyl pouring over this border, going straight up I-25 and straight out I-70. We need to know what's going on so we know how to make a difference and protect the people in Colorado and the United States of America. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it, and we'll be back later. Take care.